I've generated my SMMA clients hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue, but just 9 months ago, I didn't have a single client result. A lot of people think getting client results is really overcomplicated. You need a massive budget or years of experience, but most people honestly just overcomplicate it. There's just a few key steps and one lever that you can pull that is going to instantly increase your client results overnight. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that is and how you can start applying it today. And if you have any questions throughout this video, just DM me on Instagram. It's in the description below, or noah.helped. So I'm going to walk through all of this because this is exactly what I wish someone would have showed me before I started paid ads, so you can actually learn to fish rather than having the fish, so you can go out and improve your ads yourself, right, without relying on someone else. So the first step is you need to understand there is lead quality and then there's lead quantity. Now, for those of you who don't know, lead quality, you get fewer leads but higher intent, and they're easier to closes. They have a higher conversion rate, right? So what that means is you're getting, let's say, 100 leads. If you have a higher quality lead, you would convert, let's say, 10 out of 100 of them, or 1 out of 10 leads. Now, if you have lower quantity of leads, or you go for, more quantity rather than lead quality, you're going to get more leads, obviously quantity, right? Lead quantity, but they're going to be lower intent. There's more follow-up needed. Now, this is a problem that I had right away with my agency, speaking from my experience, is generating leads is one thing, but generating real opportunities that are actually going to make these business owners money is another. So you can't have one without the other, right? You can't just have quality and have no quantity, because then you're going to get 2 leads a month. And right, yeah, maybe that can work for some of you, but ideally you want to be getting, I've seen the sweet spot is around 4 to 10 leads per week. So that's kind of the sweet spot with it. Now, if you're getting 4 to 10 leads per week and the quality is terrible, you probably need to rethink your ad. But you want to be in there. You need a mix of both of them. You can't have one without the other, because again, if you get a ton of leads, you get a bunch of garbage ones. But if you get barely any, you're just not giving them enough opportunities. So you need to have a way to find a mix of both those. I'm going to show you exactly how. So this is how to find the best medium, what's in the middle. So first of all, the goal, what I've seen a good amount is 4 to 10 leads per week is ideal. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh no, I'm generating my clients 20, 25, 30, 40, 50 leads a week. I'm doing better than you for your clients, which I agree if you're looking at number of leads as what's the absolute best. But also for my clients, I don't have virtual assistants calling the leads for them. I'm handing them off to the client, because the way I position my service, and this is a big thing, is also how you're setting the expectation. I position my service as this is something we build in your business, so you don't have to outsource it. And also the conversion rate is much higher when you're actually calling your own leads. But I also make sure that they're staying on top of that, which is another thing I'll go over, is how to set the right expectations. But ideally, we want to be getting 4 to 10 leads per week. If you're getting less than that, then we need to remove friction. So right, I'll break down basically how to do it. So if we're getting over 10 leads per week, then we need to add friction. If we're getting under 4 leads, so 1 to 4 leads per week, we need to remove friction. Now, friction is basically how easy or how hard it is for someone to opt in. So the more friction you add, which can be you send them to a landing page, you add qualification questions, you use a video ad, right? If you want to remove friction, you use a lead form, you remove qualification, and you use image ads, right? So the biggest difference between video and image ads from what I've seen is image ads are going to bring in a higher quantity of leads, but they're going to be lower quality. So if you're getting over 10 leads per week, I would recommend switching to video ads and landing pages. If you're getting under 1 to 4, I would recommend removing friction using either a lead form, removing qualification, or using image ads, right? Now, the easiest way that I've found to get your clients better results, this is the single easiest lever that you can pull. Number one, I want to go over this before I even talk about how to actually write the ads, how to script the ads, all that sort of stuff, is literally just spend more on ads. It is that simple. That is the biggest epiphany I had. Is I started by charging my clients $10 a day on ads. I started saying, hey, we're going to go put $10 a day onto these ads. After a month, I wonder why we're only getting a lead a day and why we're not getting any conversions. Because the way it breaks down is I realize it's all mathematical. Obviously, when you're doing what I'm showing you and you do it all correctly, it's mathematical. But the way it works is, let's say your client makes $10,000 for every new client that they sign. Sorry for the terrible drawing. They make $10,000 per new client that they sign. Now, you're expecting them to spend $300 a month on ads, $10 a day, which just comes out to $300 a month on ads, right? $300 a month on ads. So you're expecting them, if you want to get them a deal a month, they're expecting to spend $300 to get $10,000 back. Now, if that was the way it works, I wouldn't have to make this video because all of you guys would be printing for your clients. But the way it typically works is you want to aim for a 7 to 10 times ROI for your clients, meaning On the higher or on the lower end, you're gonna need to expect to spend minimum $1,000 per month to get your client a $10,000 deal, and that's a 10 times ROI right there. And a 7 times, I don't even know what that is. Maybe it's like 1,500 or something, right? So your expectation to your clients needs to be that I'm gonna expect you to spend, if you want to get a deal a month or client a month, expect to spend $1,000 to $1,500 per month if you're expecting a deal. Now, if you don't want a deal a month, that's totally fine. You don't have to put that much in, but I can't go and have my guarantee that I have in there. And this is one of the best things you can do for your clients, because I've realized when you show them the number, show them how it breaks down. It breaks down literally mathematically. It's a range. It's 1,000 to 1,500 a month. And obviously sometimes it's not going to be exactly in there. Sometimes I've gotten my clients where we spend $300 and they make $45,000 back. Now that doesn't happen every time, and I tell people that, but a huge part is if you show them this, people understand where you're coming from, because they business owners see a lot of stuff logically. So if you can show them this, that makes logical sense. We're not going to get you a 50 times ROI every single time. Again, it can happen, but realistically, if you want to get a deal a month, we're going to spend this. If you want to get 2 deals a month, then we're going to spend 2K to 5K a month, or not 5K, 2K to 3K a month. Right? And you just show them that. So if you want to get 2 deals a month, let's spend $100 a day on ads. On the high end, we're going to at least get 1 or 2 deals coming in, and that's still a really good ROI. Even if you spend $3,000 and get 1 deal, you're still making them $7,000, which is extremely good. But a huge part of it is just having your clients spend more. And as your clients spend more, all of a sudden you start getting them better results, you look better, but you also position yourself as someone who is confident and they feel like they have confidence and conviction, because you're charging more, and it instantly increases the value of your service, because it disqualifies a lot of the people who aren't going to get results with your service anyways. What I realized is, when you bring on low ticket free clients who are spending $10 a day on ads, number one, you don't get them results 99% of the time, and number two, they always complain they're not good clients, they're not actually good at what they do, because there's a reason their budget's only $10 a day. So when you increase your tolerated amount for ads, you start attracting a better client. And that's the single biggest thing that I did that helped change the results. And that's before we even go and talk about the service delivery. That's the single best thing you can do. Now, once you have that though, once you have a realistic budget, this is how you actually make winning ads. Number one, Facebook ad library is your best friend. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel, right? You already found what works. The way it kind of works is, this is what works right here. You don't want to do something totally over here, because you're just basically guessing. What you want to do is you want to have a lot of overlap. You want to try a little variation, but all of this should be overlap. You pretty much want to copy exactly what they're doing, have a little variation in it, and just test it though, right? You want to iterate, but that's exactly what you should be doing. Don't reinvent the wheel. So you can go on Facebook ad library, Google Ad Transparency Center to see all the ads people are running in your niche. The second thing you can do is use ChatGPT to find common pain points in your niche, right? So basically I have this entire prompt that I use, and if you want this, just DM me on Instagram. I can send over this exact prompt plus this whole Miro board if you'd like, but it's basically finding the top 10 pain points, frustrations, or objections that this niche has, and you insert your niche related to the service they're buying, right? And then basically it writes you pain points, or it writes you ads based on the pain points, because when you can speak to their pains, that is what pushes people, right? It's like there's a common sales saying that people say in objection handling. It's like, if Usain Bolt had a lion behind him, he would go a lot faster than if he was chasing after a gold medal, right? And it's the same thing here. You want to find what motivates them, what pushes them, what's going to make them feel like they have a lion chasing them, and basically write your scripts based on that. So you can use ChatGPT. I highly recommend it, but you don't want to use it verbatim, right? I would recommend using this, finding a winning angle, put it in ChatGPT in this prompt, and then also make it even better with adding some of these pain points in here. And then lastly is, in my niche, my niche thinks that my Instagram thinks that I'm a real estate agent, because that's who I work with, right? So all of a sudden I start getting ads from other people marketing to real estate agents. So what you can do is just save them on your feed, go like them, create a library of them. You can go back and just watch them all, see how they edit them, see the messaging, see the landing page, see the funnel, and just go and get a really good idea of exactly what everyone in your industry is doing. And when you combine these together, that's exactly how you create a winning ad, because you have you're not reinventing the wheel, but you're also making it better by utilizing AI, utilizing ChatGPT, and also funnel hacking other people as well. And no, it's not stealing, because you iterate. You don't copy it word for word. But the next part is, you're probably wondering how to actually structure the campaign. Now, this is super, super simple, so I'm just going to walk you through this. It's simple. You have one campaign, one audience, one ad group, and then you have 5 different ads, right? You can have more than that, but what you're testing is 5 different angles. So angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5. Now, if you're doing videos, these are going to be the same exact ad, but you're testing 5 hooks per body and close of the video. So if you're doing videos, you have hook, you have body, and then you have your call to action. So all you're doing, you're keeping these the exact same, and you're testing 5 different hooks, right? Hook 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's the only thing you're changing. If you're doing images, you maybe keep the exact messaging the same, but change the color on the ad or something along those lines. But it's big that you're testing different angles to find out what works, what's resonating in your market specifically, right? Now, basically, the way you can determine if it's working is you let the ad spend 2 to 3 times your target cost per lead. So let's say your target cost per lead is $10, right? That's what you want to get a lead, right? A $10 lead. Now, let's say hook angle 1 spends $40 and gets 0 leads. Well, let's go back here. Is $40 more than 2 to 3 times that? Yeah, 2 to 3 times that would be $20 to $30. So if your ad spends more than $20 to $30 and doesn't get a lead, you just cut it. Let's say ad 2 spent $15 and got 1 lead. Yes, it's within the KPI. It's under that range, and you got 1 lead, so you're gonna keep it running, right? And you're gonna keep monitoring. And likewise, you go through it with all of them. And I usually don't check the ads manager every single day. When you do it for your own agency, yes, you want to be in there a little more, but you can check these every couple of days. It also depends on the platform that you're running, like YouTube, Google. You don't need as much maintenance on those, but that's exactly what you do. So if it's above KPI, you just cut it. If it's within your KPI, you just keep it running. It's that simple without overcomplicating it. Now that we know how to do that, I want to show you lastly how to convert more leads. Number 1, the first thing you can do is set expectations. Set the right expectations. Not every lead that we generate you is going to turn into an appointment. Not every lead we generate you is going to be qualified, but there are some things we can do. Number 1, the first thing that helped me was I was getting 0 results from my clients. All of a sudden, I just said, hey, I'm gonna try calling them myself, see if these leads really do suck as much as my clients are telling me. I called them and I started my first day. It looked like 5 appointments for my clients. I had like 3 clients at the time, and I realized, okay, maybe the leads don't suck, maybe the clients suck, right? And that's a mindset shift. Now, I wasn't attracting the highest quality clients to start because I was spending like $20 a day on ads or something like that. But once I started calling the leads, I realized a ton of it is in the process. And that got me some really good case studies as well. It also makes it more enticing to work with you, right? Because you're just doing more for them. The more you can do, the better results. Now I don't do that because I don't need to, because I also kind of know the process. So once you have that, I'm going to skip to this. You ask your best clients to share their process with your other clients and you coach them. So once you get clients and they start getting results, if you find one client is booking 5 appointments a week, others are booking 0 or 1 appointment, you go ask client number 1 who's getting these results and say, hey, John, what are you doing to get this? Show me your process. And you take this and you go give it to your other clients. And that's exactly what I do. But also what you can do with this is when I was calling the leads, I got an idea of what worked and what doesn't work. So what you can do then is, even if you're younger, like for me, I had the limiting belief that because I'm younger, because I'm not a licensed real estate agent, because I'm not a licensed contractor, I've never done that before, that I can't coach them. But the thing is, these people don't train on sales. They don't train on appointment setting. You know this more than them because you're hopping on calls all day. That's what you do for a living, right? That's literally what we do in SMMA. So you get an idea, you call the leads yourself, which I highly recommend in the beginning, get them even better results. And then you'll know exactly what works, what doesn't work, and you'll feel so much more convicted and confident when coaching them. Because even if you are younger, you've never done this before, you haven't sold homes before, you can say, yeah, but I've called the leads. I found exactly what works. I've spoken with thousands of them. I've seen what works, what doesn't work. So John, let's review this. You did this wrong. You actually need to be doing this. This is what I found, right? So just leverage that and be constantly coaching them, right? And then the other thing you can do, obviously, use Go High Level automations. It's for sure something that helps. Like the whole premise with Go High Level automations to keep it as simple as possible, so you can go and make them for whatever. The only thing you're trying to do with these is get a response. You're just trying to get them to say yes or no. You're not trying to get them to open up about their life, saying, hey, are you looking for, what type of kitchen are you looking for? Like, you can say something like that, but you can just ask, hey, are you still looking for a new kitchen? Just make it super easy for them to say yes or no. Once they respond immediately, you go and call them. It's that simple. So if you leverage all 3 of these, that's how you can start turning your leads into appointments, into actual deals. That's how, when I did these, that's when my client results started skyrocketing. Now, the last part I want to go over is just get feedback from your clients. That's the absolute best thing you can do, because sometimes what would happen is I look at the ads, they're getting a really low click-through rate, which click-through rate, it's CTR, it's a number of clicks. I was getting a low click-through rate, meaning not many people are clicking on the ads. So I kind of got frustrated. I would turn ads off and stuff. And then all of a sudden I get a text from this client, "Hey Noah, just sign a new deal." Right? I'm like, "Oh, the click-through rate's terrible," but he's signing new deals, which is all that matters. So the most important thing you need to do is read your data from right to left. Now, this is what I'm going to leave you with. This is the last part of it, right to left. Now, what that means is the left-hand stuff is the cost per lead, the click-through rate, how many people are clicking on your ads, all this sort of stuff, which to some of you might sound foreign, but really all you need to do, if you take away one thing, number one, have your clients spend more on ads. Number two, making sure you're iterating, you're writing this, you're testing stuff the right way, but then you're reading from right to left. So as long as your client is making money from the ad, you don't need to change a thing. Even if the cost per lead is high, even if the click-through rate, even if the ads aren't getting a ton of clicks, as long as this client's making money, like, why would we care? That's literally all that matters. So that's the most important part. Now, to recap with you super quick. So quality versus quantity, you want to ideally be getting 4 to 10 leads per week. If you're getting over that, add friction. If you're getting less than that, remove friction. Now, the best thing to do, again, hands down, spend more on ads. That simple. And to make winning ads, you can do Facebook Ad Library, Google Transparency Center, use ChatGPT. Again, if you want this prompt, DM me, I can send it over. And also just start saving ads that you see that you like, whether they're in your niche or not in your niche. To structure the campaign, you go one campaign, one audience/ad group. You test at least 5 different angles to start. Once it spends 2 to 3 times the target cost per lead, you're going to either cut it or you're going to keep it running depending on the results, how many leads it's generated. And then to convert more leads, call the leads yourself in the beginning, use go high level automations, and ask your best clients to get their feedback, or just other people in the space. And then finally, again, get feedback from your clients and read the metrics right to left, right? I know that's a lot of stuff right there. Again, if you want any of this, DM me on Instagram. If you have questions, DM me. Other than that, I appreciate you watching. Go check the video on the screen that YouTube recommends for you, and I'll see you